It looks like it'll be a Seraphim mirror from the two of these guys.
Okay.
They both wanted, well, some of them wanted UEF, either as first or second, but they both vetoed it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, I think on these kind of maps, it's always going to be Seraphim UEF. They're just so strong on this particular, at the T2 stage of the map.
Yeah, they just have
And they
this very
don't-
good peak of power right at T2, where they can make all sorts of stuff happen.
Yeah, plus the commander, and yeah, they're scary once you get a lot of T2 production going.
So here we go. Game 4 of the grand final of the Spring Invitational. Down in the bottom we have Tagada, still in red, now in Seraphim. And Nexus with his purple Seraphim up in the top. Tagada currently leading 1-2, or 2-1. That's how it works. And I don't know. I really have no idea what's happening in this series. I couldn't really make a prediction. I'll have to rely on chat and their money for my opinion.
Yeah, it's tough to know here because Tagada is playing well. He's getting good starts in the games, and that's really what he needs. He needs some kind of. I feel like he needs some kind of advantage to work with, and that's where he's strong. Whereas, coming back from a deficit, I'm less convinced. Obviously, it's much more difficult to do that, but also I think his strength is really if he can have an advantage, he's good at maintaining it and pressing it, not letting it slip. So similar builds, I guess. No, actually different builds. So Tagada is staying in position with his commander, not wasting quote unquote a bit of time walking.
We've seen
Always building.
a lot of games on good lands, and there's like a pretty even split between what players like to do here. And I think they're almost equivalent.
I think so. I mean, the Hydra is quite close. It's not a problem really to walk to it. At the same time, you have the reclaim available, so you don't necessarily need to. Nexus wins that.
And if
Celine
you walk
battle.
it back, your ACU's in a slightly awkward position. Like, this very slightly.
Yep. It is a minor detail. So overall, I think they're fairly equivalent. When I played this map, I didn't walk. Oh, he found the Celine. What the hell? Thought that Celine was cloaked, but I guess not.
Nope.
Maybe there was already a target on it beforehand.
Yeah, seems
Before
so.
I-
And now Tagada's in position to get the nice, good Celine in the middle to watch the reclaim field and anything that comes through the middle.
Nexus going 5th air.
That seems late.
A little bit. I mean, there's greed and there's greed. Now this map is super open, and it's sort of if you let yourself believe that it's like Badlands, you will get screwed over on this map because it's way more open than Badlands. So a lot of units early on can do huge amounts of damage, disrupt you massively, and you have to scale so quickly because there's so much reclaim that if you start falling behind in the scaling, then you may never catch up. So I guess that's why Nexus is going for that very aggressive approach, and he's going to get away with it for now because Tagada has made a scout and an inti, and he's making another inti. Now that's
Wow.
the kind of thing that will cost you.
Just a massive amount of respect being given to Nexus right here.
Yeah, he's just he needs to use that scout properly. He needs to be looking and see, okay, well, there's no inti, the air factory is super late, it's still under construction, or this. So if he doesn't take advantage of the fact that the layer is so late, then well, he's going to be at a disadvantage, obviously.
All right, Tagada doing the, let's say, bold maneuver here, and he's going ACU to mid. Nexus thinking about going to the far Mexes. So Perhaps a gun timing push through the middle is the name of the game for Tagada.
Well, I think AC to mid is fine because there's a lot of reclaim. And you can see he's given huge amounts of manual reclaim orders there in the middle. So it's not too... It's not a shocking move to move to middle on this map, I would say.
It's much better than on that 10x10 between Caroline and
yes.
Patrick.
Yeah, it's a bit better, that's for sure. Looks like Tagada did take an air fight there, so hopefully then he'll respond to the air fight with the bomber, but we'll see.
But
or transport.
Nexus taking a good fight on the right side. Tagada's aggression going to be pushed back.
Yeah, that was a good fight. And overall, looking quite even. I don't think Nexus is going to break through with any raids, which is interesting given that he went 5th there, so that's quite nice from Tagada. Bit low on power. He's going to adjust his... Needs to add some more power production to get his air factory unpaused. Or, well, he's waiting for the Hydra to finish, actually.
If this NG somehow dies, it would be quite bad for Tagada in the bottom left expansion, but it looks like Nexus isn't going to be able to break through. Just too many tanks there for Tagada at just the right time. And Tagada now going to try to counter push.
Yeah. Yeah, good move there. Good defense. Bit, yeah, he's going to go for the other Hydro. And should be able to expand. They're expanding at a similar pace. Tagada actually might be the one with the lead in expansion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the NGs to the back. They're faster. And the ACU to mid, there's just no contesting it.
Yep. Yeah, the ACU to mid is quite nice. He has 2 extra mexes from that. He may get 1 or 2 more as well.
He gets the reclaim field for free. I mean, looking at reclaim numbers, Tagada is currently at 3k to Nexus is slightly under 3k, so actually not as big of a difference as you might expect.
No, but he's getting contested reclaim as opposed to reclaim that he is almost certainly going to get in the long run.
Yeah, Tagada will eventually grab this in his base, but Nexus will never grab the middle.
No, it's gone. Also T2 mechs on the way for Tagada. No T2 mechs for Nexus. He really doesn't like to make early eco generally. It feels like it's not really his approach, and it may cause him problems against Tagada because he doesn't have really a tank advantage. Perhaps on the left side, but you can see Tagada immediately reacting to the low number of tanks he has there. All reinforcements right now heading left.
Beautiful concave on the right side, and yeah, Tagada actually has a slight lead in tanks, 5 tanks ahead when I checked. So
Nexus has to adjust here, has to bring his ACU back to the right to block this potential run by, which could be devastating if it gets through. So Nexus has to be on his toes here. He wanted to move to middle there, it seemed, but he's forced back to the right.
Yeah, he's gotta play it safe. He can't let this expansion die, because if it does, then his ACU to this position accomplished nothing. And that might be the sunk cost fallacy, but don't look at that.
Well, no, keeping your one of your main expansions is not a sunk cost fallacy, I would say.
Well, sending the ACU over there to make sure it doesn't die, as opposed to doing what it wanted to do to contest the other ACU.
Right. Okay, T2 mechs from 65% for Nexus. Tagada already has one, and Tagada has T2 land already, so he's ahead on the land tech. Looks like he's slipping a little bit on the tank count right now as a result.
Yeah, looking at it, Tagada 65 tanks to 62 tanks for Nexus. No, he's actually 3 tanks up.
Wow, okay.
So
I will eat my words.
But Nexus does have a nice drop. He's going to get the left side plateau. He's taking an all-right fight left side. Both sides will just retreat, though.
Not bad. Nexus... Well, what is happening? Who's getting the reclaim more effectively is, I guess, the question. I think it looks quite similar overall.
Dead even on the reclaim count at 6.3 for both. Really close game so far. No one's taking any huge risks, but I don't know. Nexus pulling his ACU to mid might give the opportunity for the right side army to make a push. We have 40 tanks here. Currently only 20 tanks contesting the defense.
Yeah, there is an opportunity perhaps for Tagada. Now, what may make the difference is the faster T2 land, because faster T2 land means faster support factories, which is actually the more important factor in the T2 land battle, because 1 HQ, unless it's assisted like mad, is not going to make all the difference. Having 5 factories upgraded to T2 before your opponent is. So we have 3 on the way, almost there for Tagada.
And Tagada's actually going to contest the left side plateau, and with superior tanks and Zuis, Nexus doesn't stand a chance. But Nexus is going to route Tagada from the middle. He's going to force him back, get him to pull some army there. Small win.
Yeah, Tagada actually lost the NG that he dropped to the left plateau. Nexus focused on that engineer immediately, and Tagada can't really attack the right side. If he had a window, it's closed now, and there's also walls going up, which are going to make it even more difficult.
Well, now we see the counter drop from Nexus.
Yes. Who will counter the counter drop next? Tagada's making.
Tagada's literally going for it again.
Is he?
He really is. Fully laden T1 transport full of Thams straight over to the left.
And meanwhile, the right side was empty that whole time, and Nexus just dropped there now. Takes it.
Well, look, you can't worry about that. You just have to keep fighting over this expansion because it's the one you're fighting over.
Yeah.
Nexus is going to think about dropping NGs there, but sees the counter drop and respects it.
Now, more importantly, perhaps, or not, Tagada is making T2 ACU.
Now for gun.
Assistance, and he's going T2 gun. Now, I recognize this from somewhere. I believe it's happened before. Another thing, though, to note, that Tagada is falling behind an eco, so he's got 2 T2 mexes. He's got some more on the way.
He sees Nexus doesn't have gun. He's not upgrading. He knows he's halfway on gun. He's going to apply some pressure, make sure that Nexus can't immediately get it, and there's going to be a brutal follow-up, I'm pretty sure.
And Nexus loses his transport as well. He got caught there by the Inties. And Tagada takes the left expansion now.
For now.
Or the plateau, yeah. For now. But yeah, Nexus leading a little bit on eco. He's actually ecoing the back Nexus, which can be very vulnerable if they're spotted as upgraded.
Yeah, a lot of eco being invested here.
Yeah, and Tagada is going to have he needs to start moving immediately with his ACU because he has the upgrades. Needs to go. Nexus is already making the gun.
Go
now.
Tagada. There we go. Moving out across the field. He's got T2. He's got gun. He's ready to put pressure on, and critically, Nexus's P-gens, like we saw in the Crazy Rush game, are very far forward. They're supporting the T2 Air HQ.
Oh, T2 Air from Nexus. That is interesting. I hadn't noticed that. Maybe some more drops are coming. Maybe it's Nothas. Actually, look at that. A shield in between the 2 P-gens for Tagada. That is expensive. But perhaps he's afraid of the potential Notha snipe at the Notha sniping power and taking away overcharge at exactly the wrong moment.
Yeah, spending a few mass on Notha insurance is often a sensible move.
It is, but it's quite expensive as Seraphim. The shield gen is about 700 masks, I think. So it's not cheap.
Exactly.
Plus
on the money.
Is significant.
And now Nexus has gun. So this is going to get bogged down real fast. But it looks like Tagada wants to PD creep it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reclaim field here to secure. So getting a PD up and then starting to, get the ACU involved with the big gun might not be the worst option.
Problem is, Tagada can't actually afford to build this PD.
He's struggling mass-wise, is he?
Yeah, he is. It's quite painful. But he does get it up eventually, and hopefully if he can secure it, not immediately lose it to the gun ACU, he should be in a decent spot. That said.
It's not a great place for T2PD as it's struggling to shoot anywhere but the ground. Also, this does not look good for Tagada right now. It looks to be low on units.
All right,
Oh, and
but
Ilshi specifically.
the counter drop on the left side just got shot down. I feel like that's
Well,
important to point out.
I guess he's going to win then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks a bit rough now for Tagada. Now, maybe he can create a huge reclaim field here and fuel his entire economy out of it. He is winning air.
Or
Oh
maybe,
my
yeah,
God.
Nexus can just
What
fight
are the
over the
Inkies
T2
doing?
flak. And
That's not a great move from Nexus there, but
look at this
yeah, can
reclaim
Tagada
factory,
secure
though.
all the reclaim?
It's in such a great position to secure all the reclaim that these guys are fighting over. It's a huge advantage.
It is, but there has also been reclaim generated on the right-hand side that Tagada is not going to have. And Tagada may actually have to send reinforcements to the right now, as he's under threat.
Well, Nexus has to send them to the left because these are 3 Elshis that are threatening to push into the base here.
Yep.
Tagada actually having power problems, which is not a good situation you want to be in if you're fighting Elshis.
Yeah, he's made T2 air now, and he's making Nothas of his own. I think both players actually really want another T2 Pigeon right now, as they're struggling to meet all their economic needs, plus the overcharges. That's a very nasty attack on the right. A lot of mechs are going to die there.
Thankfully
For
all
Tagada.
T1, but the T2 radar will be a nice pickup and just a very annoying push. Meanwhile, the middle, Tagada not having OC versus Nexus being able to OC constantly is starting to make a difference.
Yeah, Tagada's running out of units in the middle.
He needs to stop building air and just get a T2 Pigeon up real fast. Look at this. Nexus
Yeah, he's
withdrawing from the left side, pulling everything to mid. Tagada needs to be a bit scared. He does see all of this happening. He has the radar.
Yeah, he has a very nice T2 radar. I think that's probably, well, this is some of the reason he's struggling for power, but that is a big army for Nexus.
Perhaps killing
And
the T2
not-
radar on the right side was helping out Tagada in the end.
Maybe, but Tagada needs to. How is he going to get away from this?
What
Like
is
he's
this?
now moving to the right.
Oh,
he's
no,
going to
this
get
is-
squashed.
This move order, it was misplaced. He accidentally was moving onto the top of the cliff, so he wanted to move towards the base, and now he's getting shift G'd. Does he have OC yet? Yeah,
I
he's-
don't think he survives here. I don't
No.
think there's any way.
Maybe? Actually, he does have T2. That's providing him a bit of health. He has OC again. Brutal OC. She's dead.
We'll see.
He's already at 3 vets. I think, yeah, maybe he survives. Like, boom. Oh, Nexus. You gotta spread those guys out. Ugh. I mean, I know he knows this, but we're gonna make fun of him a little bit.
Just tell him,
Just tell him, let him know.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't.
Hey, did you know OC has AoE, guys?
Okay, that I thought Tagada was dead there, but instead, I think he had finished the third P-gen.
I think Nexus thought he was dead too.
But look, who's gonna get the reclaim? Nexus behind this is making T2PDs,
But
and
look at this
he
push on the right
still
side.
has more units.
OC's just walking in.
And if Tagada moves in on the left side at the same time, which he can, he has units there, and there's only Zuis ahead of him. Could be nasty. That is a very good attack on the right side, but 2 PDs go up. The problem is there's just so much reclaim generated mid. There's almost every else she built in the past 5 minutes just died in middle. And I don't see how Tagada takes that reclaim.
I feel like he needs a PD to start and then go from there. I mean, losing these
you're
T2
probably
Nexus is going to be pretty rough for Nexus.
It is.
It's a decent edge.
It's good damage. On the left side, though, he's not so lucky. There's no damage to be done for Tagada. And now Tagada realizes that there's PDs up. There's actually 2 PDs in middle. And I think that's securing this reclaim is going to be the game winner. Tagada is actually 83% to T3 land. Nexus is trying to catch up. He's at 70% now. Put a lot of assistance on the HQ. And
Boom.
the last shot killed that T2 Mex there.
Unlucky
base.
for Nexus, as now he's managed to lose 3 T2 Mexes to about 3 Elshis.
Yep.
But now a counter push on the left side. Only T1 Mex over here, but it does open up a push into the back if Nexus wants to exploit that.
This is gonna hurt. This attack on the left. That whole base is gonna die, and the back is gonna be vulnerable. Again, though, Nexus overall, he still has those T2 mexes at the back that are so vulnerable to drops. But at least Tagada doesn't have T2 mexes to lose back there. But he does have a lot of map control to lose on the left.
He definitely does. And he's just sending his entire army over there. He's planning on using the single T2 PD he has to stabilize the situation in middle. And Nexus has spent a lot of money on T2 PD. About 3k mass invested there. I mean, he can always recycle them, but...
He has, but he's got so much reclaim from that position, and there's still more there. I mean, there's 4k just right in the middle.
Alright.
Where he is. And
yeah. Nathas are going to try to clean up the left side, though, and he's going to cut off Nexus's reinforcements, so stabilizing eventually.
Yeah, and the snipers are nice. They're going to help a great deal. Now a shield out for them. Probably needs to invest again in another T2P gen to start paying for all of this.
I mean, if we've learned anything, don't walk your snipers into T2PD, though.
Yes. I think Nexus is under fire. Is he from the snipers? The ACU?
He's losing a bit of health there. Does Tagada have radar? No, he does. The T2PD is just on vacation, I guess.
Yeah, what's going on there? Strange one.
So, great drop to the left side for Tagada to resecure these mexes, and now he can just pick up the reclaim and do a counter push on the left side.
Yeah, I like the drops are great to quickly regain those mexes.
And now the shield goes down. The snipers are vulnerable. One of them does go down. Tagada having maybe a bit of power problems.
Yeah, he's got a lot to pay for right now. A lot of energy consuming things going, and it's like it's just trading. Like there's a huge attack on the right hand side, and maybe a slightly less huge attack on the left hand side. But Tagada pulls back. Nexus has nothing in front of him. He's just going to run over another expansion. You can't afford to lose these expansions like this.
And this time there's no reinforcements being sent this way to cut it off. And Tagada's just going to walk forward into the shield trying to OC his way to victory. But there's so many T2PD. And snipers.
Oh no. He might just die here. How does he get away? I don't think he does.
T3 shield.
Oh no. Don't lose like this.
Alright, he's under the T3 shield now. I mean, he's regenerating at 44.
I mean, yeah, but now his ACU is just out of the game for the next 5 minutes.
Oh, good push on the left side.
Unless he gets a nano. There's a drop. Will it get shot down? Oh, it's close. It's gonna die. It's gonna... Oh, one Zooey.
One Zooey lives. Critical Zooey. Won't kill much, but it'll try. Otham being sent in, but turns out Zooeys are strong. And Ultries are strong. This is all just strong.
Ooh, yeah, that's a waste of an Otham. How are you gonna deal with this army at the back? It even has a flak with it, so you know you can't just have some T1 bombers. And now there's T2 mexes at the back that are there to be killed.
Unfortunately,
an army is gonna be the proverbial thorn in the side there.
An Otham on the right or left side for Nexus is going to prevent this T2 push from existing anymore. Just a very unfortunate set of circumstances.
Oh, and look, we have T2 drops prepared for Tagada.
Tagada gonna concede in this position?
He does concede.
I don't know if I agree with that decision, but...
Well, it's looking very, very bad.
It's looking quite bad. You're basically betting on a all-in push through the middle at this point. And Tagada doesn't think that works.
No, I mean, if you look at the army, we have like so many Othams for Nexus. We have a T3 Mex at 61% in the base as well for Nexus. T3 P-Gen over halfway done. He's just ahead in all areas. Has multiple support factories. I think it was a fair time to call it. Although, you know, going for a snipe is what we would like to see.